Pee-wee Herman's Big Adventure. Martin's favorite film.
Yes, the French version.
The French version, which is called?
In France, it's Pee-wee Herman's non-existent adventure.
And they say France has culture.
Hey, you guys loved the movie. Yeah, good for you, you know?
Well,
Good for you.
It was a huge success here in the United States, and it did not do well anywhere else.
Anywhere else? Yeah.
Because it is a very American movie.
Well, it's all about what possessions are the most important things in your life. You don't care about people, you don't care about the girl who loves him, he just ignores her completely. He just wants his bike back. It's my soul, the bike. You are what you drive. And in Europe, you are what you drink.
So the European version would be
A bottle of wine
bottle of
lost by
wine.
some guy.
Yeah. The problem with that is that once he drinks it, the wine's gone. You can ride the bike all you want, and you still have the
That's
bike.
the difference between the Europeans. You know?
Ah.
This is Kafka meets Kmart.
I mean, for anyone who's seen the movie, this is probably one of the most iconic props. The whole movie is this prop.
This is the MacGuffin.
Yeah, this is the
This
whole
is the
point of
MacGuffin.
the movie.
But who steals his bike anyway?
His nemesis, Francis. And he pays somebody to steal it. But then he thinks, oh, it's a little too hot, so he has it ditched.
Amazing storytelling.
Paul Reubens had done the Pee-wee show on HBO. He got hired by Warner Brothers to make a Pee-wee movie. Then while he was on the Warner Brothers lot walking around, he saw a bunch of people on bikes. One of the studio people gifted him a bike. It sparked something in his imagination, and he was inspired to base the entire film around this bike that he had gotten.
So this is the bike that Warner Brothers gave him.
No, this is not the bike. This is a similar bike. They sourced 14 bikes and then started to add all of these extra details.
So were all these things that were added in the overall design of the bike the decision of Tim Burton, or was it Paul Reubens that made that decision? Or
Good question. Maybe somebody knows.
Yeah,
Collaboration.
I would imagine it's a collaboration between Paul Reubens and Tim Burton. Tim Burton, this was his first feature, and Paul Reubens was the one that's kind of been commissioned to make this movie. So he probably had a lot of say in how this was developed.
Yeah, and the art director too.
Somebody must be held responsible for this.
The art director from your favorite film, David Snyder.
You shut
Your
your mouth.
favorite film,
He is
David
not
Snyder.
responsible for this.
David Snyder was the art director for Blade Runner, and then he was the art director for Pee-wee. So
Slightly different.
Blade Runner is responsible for this.
No.
No, Blade Runner is not responsible, but the person who has some responsibility to Blade Runner has responsibility to this. Yes.
and this fin looks almost to be the exact same shape as the fin on the sandworm that we took a look
That's
at.
right. That's right.
There's actually a few different fins. This piece here, this is a Delta Super Rocket Ray. It's a headlamp. They sourced a bunch of these. This is the only one that I've seen that only has one fin here. The other ones have two fins.
Also, you have different bikes, like you can clearly see the
And there's
inconsistent bikes.
and at certain points there's stuff missing on the bike as the movie goes through.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah. The art department modified these to give them these spinning propellers. All the other ones I've seen, there's another fin right here.
There is something missing on this bike, which is the license plate.
Yes.
So the license plate is not on this bike, and I don't know if this version ever had the license plate.
This is intriguing to me, right? This is clearly like a 1980s toy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys know what the toy is?
Yeah, it's basically a siren that you would put on a bike.
This whole, did it have the lion on there? Or the lion? It
yeah,
did.
and the lion had a like a red light on the forehead.
So this isn't put together. The lion and the thing came as a toy.
Single unit.
Single unit. This is a cool little radar on the other side.
Yeah, and you can see that version of it with the red light on it in some of the promo photos before they finished the prop version.
So I could find this piece if I wanted to.
Yes.
Yeah.
You could find, I think, any of these pieces.
Any of these pieces. So these wouldn't be that difficult to.
I think the saddlebags were made custom, right?
I believe. Yes.
Maybe based on something, but they custom made them.
Yeah, these look like. And this is.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that piece.
But as a fan who wanted to build a replica or someone that wanted to build a fake, it would be pretty easy because it's all, for the most part,
This
found pieces.
bike, this style bike, the Pee-wee bike, is beloved. So there's a ton of people that have made replicas of this. The tires are flat. I've never blown them up, so I have them in this position on these stands that I've had built so that there's no weight on the tires.
And somebody cut the brakes on purpose?
Somebody who didn't like the movie.
Somebody
That's
liked
right.
the movie, cut the brakes?
So Dan, where did you get this thing?
So I purchased this through Joe Maddalena. He attempted to sell this bike in his auction and it got pulled, but he offered it to me direct. He was like, oh yeah, I got this Pee Wee bike, it's great, you know, blah, blah, blah. Told me a little bit about its history, it came from another collector. And then I did some of my research. And the reason this bike was pulled from the auction was that Paul Reubens had contacted Profiles in History and said, you can't sell the bike, I want it back. You know, he was a collector himself. This is a piece that I feel very comfortable owning. I don't think there's any connection to Paul Reubens owning it. I don't think he owned all the bikes. The studio paid for them. You had other people that had them. People got them as gifts. There were a bunch of bikes. So I feel very comfortable about that. But it is a piece that Paul Reubens wanted back at one point.
I mean, he based the whole story in this bike off the bike that he was given, so surely he would have kept at least one of them. Though,
Oh
right?
yeah, he had at least one that he loaned to the Hollywood Museum, that the one that has been there for many years.
Have any others come out from him?
I don't think so. Do you know of any?
I'm aware of. No.
Just recently, there's been 2 that have sold publicly in auction.
One of them was a replica bike with production pieces on it. The other one was
A stunt bike.
the stunt version of the bike, which would have been used for the swinging on the vine scene.
Right.
That I guess had a slightly different model to it and was made by the stunt man.
So does it screen match to the film? Can we make sure that it is from the movie?
Well, I went through the film around the time that I got it, and I was not able to screen match it. But I am not as good of a screen matcher as this gentleman right here.
Because of the possibility that things were changed out and different parts were put on at different times, I can't tell if this exact, like the frame of the bike was used in certain shots, but there are some things that I can possibly match. Like I mentioned there's only one shot in the film where you see a bike that doesn't have this front fin on it. If we can look at that and see if other things match to that, then I would say that this is that bike from that scene.
There's a lot to screen match on this thing, right?
Sure.
All the weird damage on the line,
Yeah, but the damage could have happened later.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
We don't-
you could see maybe there's some
yeah,
damage.
some
in
similar patterns,
Yeah.
right?
There are some obvious things that you can initially say, oh, it's not the one from this scene. For instance, the saddlebags, these do not open. This is just, this latch is just screwed on there, and this doesn't open. But they did have ones that open.
There's the
When he
chain,
takes
right?
pulls the chain out of the bike.
So I'm going to pull open my my device, my iPad, and pull up some photos.
Oh, so this is the only one that has that little guy, basically. This is the
Yes.
reason why.
Yeah.
The placement of the screws inside the fin look correct.
Yeah, you're looking at individual elements, it's hard to tell what's what.
Yeah.
See, this got 2 different mirrors also? Everyone has 2 different size mirrors?
Yeah, they're 2 different size mirrors. And it's got the Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
What direction is Mickey? The swirl,
It's
it's the wrong direction.
Would it
Well, I
be,
mean, this
would
wheel.
it be this direction?
Yeah, when you replace the wheel, there's no direction to the wheel. You could have flipped it.
That's the right direction for here. See, the line starts here and goes around. Lines, that would be here.
Here,
All right, let me see the picture.
Yeah, but it's a different pattern too.
It would be.
What about, wait,
No, it's not.
It'd be like
Look how tight that is in comparison to the.
Yeah, it's right there. There's a piece of thing right there on
do
it.
you see this?
Oh, yeah, you're right,
Do you
you're
see
right.
this here?
Oh yeah, that
You
matches.
see these?
This is
This
that.
is
This
it.
is that.
That's that.
it's.
But
It's
it's-
on this side.
Oh yeah, but the wheel.
Yeah, so the wheel.
I mean,
flipped.
if they took these things apart and put them back together,
So they just.
it's just
There's no
there's no
they-
rhyme
yeah,
or
so they
reason
just
of what
put
they
the-
put together.
Yeah, these wheels don't have a forward or backward. Yeah.
Maybe we should turn the bike around.
Yeah, turn the bike around.
Right.
Let
yeah.
me lift the bike.
And
You want
okay.
it by
Should
yourself?
we?
Yeah.
And then
lift
we
the
will
bike.
switch these guys.
No, actually, no, I'm not going to lift it.
Let's
let me-
rotate
let me
it.
take
We'll
this
just
side.
rotate this. Here,
Hold on.
Here, I'll stabilize it. You guys just
No, let's take it off.
rotate by the.
you hold the thing on the bottom. You want to take it off?
Yeah,
Alright,
because
you guys
I
take it
think
off.
we need to take it off.
Take it off. I'll switch these guys. So rotate. All right.
Let's do the front one or the back one first.
Yeah. Oh. All right. Good. Perfect. All right. Over on.
This way.
For it.
Towards.
There we go.
Yeah, we got it. Is that locked in?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you match this little guy. What's the rotation that it was in?
It's right like this. This kind of blocks it, but in the movie, it's facing. This part is facing down right here, so you can see this rust. You can see these rust pieces. These three here.
Oh, look, there's a
There's the hole.
there's a piece of metal here to tie it to the
Show it
spoke.
right here. Like that, and you're seeing from this angle. Now, normally you wouldn't be seeing this bar. That's why it's not on camera. But you have this going on right here. You have the holes right there. You've got this right here.
See if it has the little connector here. There's two holes that connect to the spoke. It's a piece of metal connecting to the spoke.
I don't see it, but it could just not.
It might be behind here because in the shot it's like
Yeah,
this.
it's right
so
behind it.
Right
Look,
behind that.
there it could be right there.
Yeah. And now see if you can see if the wheel's in the right position by looking at the.
Yep.
There it is. So this is the actual wheel and piece.
Right.
So now what we have to look at, is this the back wheel? It's a back wheel.
No, it's front
No,
wheel.
it's flipped around.
So this is a wheel. We screen matched.
Green matched
The
wheel,
The
but
wheel.
not the rest.
And
about the back wheel?
this is matched in design, and it's the only one seen in the film, but doesn't mean it's necessarily this one.
It's cool that the wheel, the one thing that's interesting is if you screen match that wheel, right? And the color, the red, is similar to the rest.
Considering this bike changes so much in the film, and that they, reportedly took these things apart, put them back together multiple times, the fact that we're able to match a specific part is pretty impressive.
It definitely shows that this bike, parts of this bike came from production. I don't have any doubt that this is from production.
In my mind, this is real simply because I'm looking at the wear and tear in it. And it's like it has a history of wear and tear. This is a bike that's, when did this movie come out?
85.
1885? No.
Yeah. So 40 years ago. It's 40 years
40
old.
years old.
So yeah, there's 40 years of damage on this. I mean, the weird part is that Paul Reubens kind of acting like Pee Wee Herman and wanted to get his bike back.
Yeah, it's true. Well, it's bikes,
Bikes,
right?
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah,
It's very much life imitating his own art.
yeah. I mean, I knew he was a collector. I've met him once, and he's a big collector of art.
I mean, I heard he was a cool guy.
Yeah, no, he was very sweet when I met him. He was extremely nice. So,
And
but-
that makes you Francis, because you had Paul Reubens come after a
What
bike, which you now
I
own.
didn't steal his bike. I bought a bike from a person who I believe owned it, and
I mean, there's no need to be embarrassed about buying this bike. There is no reason to be embarrassed about having the bike.
you won't leave that, let that go, will you?